What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 37. We're starting today's stuff with Middlesbrough away at the Riverside Stadium, our final away day of the campaign. Great team, by the way, to do a career mode with, an RTG with real stadium. I like the kits a lot. They're a side that do need a rebuild. There are a couple of decent young players there as well, but definitely a team I would recommend in the northeast of England. Quite a few strong rivalries as well. Definitely a team to consider for an RTG in career mode this year. And still taking on the Borough, as we know, on the back of the win against Birmingham. Just one win in our last 6 games. A really tough patch of form for Newport County, as we know, has seen us miss out on the playoffs in Season 1. We knew it was going to be a tough ask regardless, but now it is officially all over. The highest we can finish is 10th, and I'd love to close out the campaign with 3 straight wins on the trot and a 10th place finish. That would do me really nicely for our first year in the Championship. But it's not going to happen when I'm doing things like this. So, 69 minutes into the game where I played better than the Borough. I don't know why Paddy McNair's celebrating, because he wasn't even close to it. Yeah, corner whipped into the middle. It's a simple save for Price, who catches the ball cleanly. And as I'm going to try and start a counter-attack there, you see Matondo waiting for it in the far corner of your screen. I try and launch it long with Allow with the top knot, and Payne just runs into the way. What's he doing? Honestly, it's not the first time this has happened either. If you're watching my career mode right now with Brentford and AC Milan as well, then obviously you would have seen it happen during the Brentford years when I conceded a goal just like that. Trying to kick the ball along quickly, deflecting off one of my defenders, and the ball turned in on the rebound. This time it just goes straight in. Thankfully we'd find our leveller with 30 minutes to go. Rabbi Matondo rescuing what was a point for us in this game with goal number 23 for the season. But I was livid, man. Absolutely livid, because Payne just ran into the way. No surprise the camera's panned to him at full time, but what was he doing? What on earth was he doing there? I mean, seriously, it should have been a Payne own goal, not a Price own goal as well. But listen, I love our 2 academy graduates, don't get me wrong. Price and Payne, really key members of our defensive unit. But I don't know what to say, man. Seriously, like, clearly I'm trying to quickly counter-attack, you know, send it long to Rabbi Matondo with the pace, try and catch the Borough out. And instead, Payne, he just runs into the way. And I don't know why on earth that happened there. Just stand where you are, and it's fine. Price is going to run around you and kick it. Instead, he just runs into the way. So unfortunate, one of those things. Of course, I'll take the blame, but even so frustrating indeed. Still finding out final scouting update of the season and academy update as well. I decided to release Dacey, one of our goalkeepers. I mentioned in the very last episode, you know, many of these players here, particularly and most importantly the outfield players, don't have the highest potential ranges, so I decided to release a couple of them there. There are a couple of young goalkeepers that do excite me. You know, obviously Price is currently our number 1 and probably will be for the foreseeable future as we jump into the top 10 for the final day here. As you can see, heading to the final day, Wilson is 2 goals clear of Rabbi Matondo in the race for the Golden Boot for those interested. And our final opponent in the season as well, Swansea City, South Wales derby at Rodney Parade, where the visitors had to win, otherwise they would be relegated to League One. Otherwise, Huddersfield Town might need to get the points themselves if Swansea were to win this game in the final one of the season. But yeah, here's the final day. I wanted a top 10 finish. You know, I talked about it in the last episode. I talked about the start of this one. We knew we weren't going to make the playoffs. Mathematically, it was over. But a top 10 finish in our first year in the Championship, I would definitely take that, considering how many tough patches we've had this season. So 26 minutes in, no room for being sentimental in this game. Whilst I would like to see Swansea stay up because I love the South Wales derbies, at the end of the day, I wanted that top 10 finish. I really wanted to close out and finish strong with a big win on our final home game of the season. Took the lead early through Ruben Colwell, former Bluebird, giving us the lead against Swansea City. They weren't going to be happy about that in 35 minutes. In a really quick little 1-2 there, saw Gavin Humphreys go through 1-on-1, and what a season for Humphreys as well. It was so difficult because obviously what I really wanted to do as well as win the game was see Rabbi Matondo catch up to Harry Wilson in the race for the Golden Boot. But I couldn't get him free. I just couldn't get him chances in the first half. And in the second half, after Swansea fired in a goal 4 minutes after the restart to half deficit and get back in the game, the game sort of died down after that. It was a pretty decent first half, but after that goal Swansea scored, it kind of just calmed down a little bit, and in the end that would do it. We do win on the final day at Rodney Parade. We win the South Wales derby. That's actually our first South Wales derby victory of the series. We drew with Cardiff City at the Cardiff City Stadium, then we lost a reverse fixture last episode, and with Swansea we drew away at the Liberty. But this is the first time out of 4 attempts we win a South Wales derby, and in the end it comes at the expense of Swansea City, who are relegated. So there you go, the top 2 in the Championship, Brighton and Fulham. Well, I talked about that was the most likely outcome. Blackburn Rovers, Nottingham Forest, West Brom, and my boys Millwall have made the playoffs. But we've made the top 10, 64 points on the board in 46 games. I'm calling it a good season. 70 goals, incredibly impressive. What's not impressive is we conceded 73. We had the 3rd worst defensive record in the division, and whilst we finished several points clear of Swansea City, 21 points clear in the end, 73 goals conceded, 3rd worst defensive record. That needs to change. Unfortunately, as you can see, my lads Gary Rolt's Millwall made the playoff final in the Championship, but were beaten by Nottingham Forest in the end. So they are up to the Premier League. Brennan Johnson's going to get some first-team football exposure in the Premier League. So hopefully that'll help his development, because Lord knows I'd like to sign him either next season or the season after that. But in the end, Harry Wilson did win the Golden Boot. Gavin Humphreys won the assist title. I was buzzing about that. What a season for Gavin Humphreys, new club captain. And as you can see, Bursic, the young English goalkeeper, won the Golden Glove in the Championship this year for Stoke City. As for the team of the season, though, this was hilarious, man. I got to show you this. Team of the season in the Championship, we had 2 representatives. Lloyd Payne. We could see the 73 goals this season. 3rd worst defensive record. I don't know how he made it in there. But Ben Davies. How on earth did Ben Davies make the team of the season? Where was Ravi? Where was Gavin? I've got no idea. Derby and Rotherham, by the way, are coming to the Championship for next season, and one of those teams in the League One playoffs. And also Sheffield United, Bournemouth and Watford are going down to the Championship for next season as well. What I will say, though, is take those league tables with a pinch of salt. So we should see Derby and Rotherham up to the Championship next year. The Blades, Bournemouth and also Watford as well. But take those league tables with a pinch of salt. As we know, they do often change. Still, Europa Conference League, won by Lille. Europa League, for those wondering, Cardiff City, after winning the FA Cup last year, they so almost got out of a group featuring Inter Milan and Marseille. Those topped it, and in the end, Inter, who were in the Cardiff City group, ended up winning the Europa League, beating Wolfsburg in the final by 4-1. And as for the Champions League as well, the winners in the 3rd season of the Save, in the end were, wait for it, Monaco? No, Manchester City. Monaco. What is this, 2004? Monaco making the Champions League final. I thought that was so cool, man. But Manchester City, in the end, got the victory to win the Champions League. So there we go then. As we wrap up Season 3, you see our academy. I did decide to give contracts to our star goalkeepers. Nathan Adams with 79 and 89 potential, but a great starting overall. And also Kylan Johnson as well. 16 years old, but he seems to have very decent potential indeed. We can't see his potential tag yet, as he's only 58 overall, but Nathan Adams, already at 65 overall, has shown great potential. So I've mentioned it in the past couple of episodes. Obviously now we're being a lot more selective with our youth players. We're only looking for players who we believe will have, at the very least, showing great potential. And as I run you through the squad here one final time for Season 3, you see Payne grew to 77 overall this season. Less than about the own goal in the Middlesbrough game, the better, but even so, great season for Payne. Tony Matthews continues to develop really well. I hope next season, with dynamic potential, he gets a potential tag finally, as he's still a really good teenage talent. Ben Davies grew 2 ratings this year to 82 overall at 31 years old. Is the vet going to retire come the end of next season? I really hope not, because I absolutely love him. Still running through the team, Gavin Humphreys, 2nd player of the season this year. 76 overall, grew 6 ratings, 17 years old, 13 goals and 14 assists in the Championship. Absolutely brilliant season for Gavin, and still has the potential to be special at 17 years old. Lloyd had 3 goals and 3 assists. Not the best debut season for Lloyd, but even so, still shows great potential, and the future is still quite bright. But for Ravi Matondo, my player of the season, up 6 ratings to 79 overall, 23 goals and 11 assists in 34 games. I got to say, in the summer, I think I need to make my mind up. If I don't do it, I'll regret it, I feel. I think I need to change him to a striker, because whilst Alan Brown grew 3 ratings, he's up to 62 overall. 5 goals and 5 assists in an injury-hit season where he only played 20 games. Isn't that bad? But I just don't think he's anywhere close to the level of Ravi Matondo right now. We love Bound. He's got that potential. We know that. But I think he might have potential decrease next season due to the injuries he had this year. I think what I'm going to do is convert Ravi to striker in the summer and loan Alan Bound out. I think it's the best thing to do for Bound's development, but also for short-term success with Ray Matondo. But as we end the season as a 3.5-star team for our first Junior Championship, I will take it. Top 10. Yes, we missed out on the playoffs, but a lot of positives. However, with 73 goals conceded, I know in the summer window, regardless of my budget, I'm going to spend most of it on a new centre-half. My defence this year is the reason why we couldn't make the playoffs. But that will end today's episode and season 3 of CNC, guys. Massive thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the channel, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next season, the start of season 4, very soon.